welcome back to the Netherkast, episode 32. I'm Black Cyborg, joined as always by temporary username Shadaloo and Razor's Edge, featuring the appearance of Django. How are you guys doing today?
Hi! Batman. I'm doing Batman.
Batman. Exactly.
I am the knight.
Game is so good.
Pretty good, guys. Pretty good.
Where's all the other fun hiding? All the fun's in here.
No. Okay.
This is a car.
Oh no, it's Batman. Okay. All right. This episode's going to be quite different from what we usually do. Well, I mean, topic-wise, obviously, we've pretty much used every Nethercast to pretty much talk strictly, for the most part, about Mortal Kombat, other than random tangents, etc. But this one's going to be pretty much centered around E3 and just our thoughts on what was shown, panels, games revealed, news, all the little happenings that go on at E3 each year. And this year was a particularly good one, so we thought we'd take a break from Mortal Kombat and talk about some E3. So, where do we want to start?
So,
There's a lot.
Well,
Fallout 4, I
Sony-
imagine.
Sony won. Game over.
Sony won pretty hard.
Yeah, that was
Game
a grand
set match.
Won for all time.
Yeah.
So, this is what everyone has been saying, that Sony won, but me being a fan of neither Final Fantasy or Shenmue, watch out. See, but beyond that, I just saw, hey, there's a new Uncharted that's going to happen.
I don't know that you have to be a fan of Final Fantasy to at least recognize that you can't really top remaking the most popular video game in history.
But for me, it doesn't do anything, because it's not something that I want to play.
See,
Everyone else loves it.
I'm gonna chime in here just so Justin doesn't feel alone, and I feel the exact same way, because I played Final Fantasy on Nintendo, the original, so never played any of the other ones, and I've never played Shenmue or cared, so I can understand where you're coming from. I do still think Sony did quite well, just like recognizing how big, obviously just looking at the fan response, clearly they did something really well, but I don't know, it just I don't see it, like, it doesn't excite me at all either.
But guys,
Excitement about over the brand and the franchise aside, I don't think you can deny that they showed everyone else up. I mean, even if you don't care about Shenmue or Final Fantasy, they just came out and they just announced shit that people were thinking was dead or would never happen for years and years and years now. And oh yeah, by the way, here's freaking Uncharted 4 while we're here. Just megaton bomb after megaton bomb. I remember following the thread on NeoGAF, it's like, imagine if they actually announced The Last Guardian. Imagine if they announced an FF7 remake.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if, and it all happened.
Yeah,
Well,
every rumor came true.
True.
That was it. It was like a field of dreams. A couple of hours for Sony there. You want it? We have made it happen.
And how about that Star Wars Disney Infinity, guys?
Well, I agree. They delivered in the front of everything that was rumored. They delivered on, but that's just, I guess that's what it was, all rumored for the most part.
I just feel like, I mean, it's a shame that some of that stuff leaked ahead of time, but I feel like the other conferences were just like, here's a regular assortment of video games, have fun with the rest of the year, and then Sony comes out and it's all like hype, hype, hype.
That's another thing too. Sony gets the credit, and they should, because they had the announcement for the Final Fantasy game. But that's not going to be an exclusive.
Well,
They
no,
just
it's
have
not.
the
They said
announcement.
it'll be out first on PS4, but it will definitely,
Right.
it's going to be multi-platform.
And Shenmue is going to be on PC as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would give Sony a little more clout personally if they were exclusives. But it's cool. It's fine.
I don't think you could ever make an FF7 remake exclusive. I think you're missing out on way too much money, way too much revenue.
Yeah, I just think
They
that
know
the
that, that's
industry has changed, and there's so few exclusives in general nowadays. That's really just not how, I mean,
Yeah, it's almost a thing, like, only games where, like, either Microsoft or Sony have helped developed are exclusives. Like Street Fighter V, everyone says that Sony basically is helping fund that game so it exists. And so
Right,
that's why
yeah.
it's the exclusive.
And, well, the other thing is, I mean, the reason it's coming out on Sony first, I mean, besides the fact that Sony and Squeenix have had, like, a relationship for a while, it's... That's what I like to call them. It's apparently, like, they're trying to, like, boost console sales in Japan because, you know, they're dying. Everybody's turning to phone games over there.
Just ask Microsoft, who sold what?
And
100 in the last month or something like that?
Yeah, and that's why they're finally pulling the trigger on the remake after years of saying it would be, like, too hard or take too long to do. And the other thing is, they've actually been working on the remake for, like, a year. Like, when they announced that the PC port and everybody got all disappointed, like, 6 months ago, they knew
Sam started
like,
laughing
it was already in the works. They just weren't ready to announce it yet.
Master Troll.
And historically, I look fondly on that that port trailer. I mean, it's hilarious now. Well, I guess it's also hilarious for me because personally, I was never asking for a remake of Final Fantasy VII. I like the game. I like the game a lot. It's one of my top 5 Final Fantasies. But I'm on the stance that I always got my fill. I was very satisfied with FF7.
Well,
no one would have asked for it had like Advent Children not happened and shit, you know?
Yeah, that's like the Final Fantasy VII, like, as a franchise, wasn't really a thing until Advent Children. Like, it was the most fondly remembered FF game, but at that point in time, everybody was just all, like, acceptant of the fact that every Final Fantasy is a different story in a different world. And then they did X2, which was the first time they'd ever done a sequel, and then they did Advent Children to bring those characters back because those are the most popular ones. And, like, I mean, you can say some negative things about Advent Children. I know a lot of purists who hate the compilation in general. Personally, I think the story was filler, but I was really glad that it brought back those characters and that it led to Crisis Core, which is one of my favorite games of all time, actually, and that now we're getting this. Because the thing for me is, I replay 7 every couple years as, like, sort of a ritual because I like the game so much, but I play a modded to hell PC version because I can't stand the original graphics. So a remake is really good news for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that sense, if you play the game over and over like that, then that by all means a remake is exciting. But I'm just thinking, if I'm trying to like equate it to a game I really liked from the past that I would want to see remade, but I'm failing to do that because I don't know. If I play the game, I play the game, but I guess I just don't go back and replay story modes of a game over and over and over like that. I mean, I'm trying to think of something in the Xbox to PS2 era that I'm like, man, I really wish they'd update the graphics and kind of add a couple new things and just put
Arkham City, maybe?
Well, Arkham City just came out 4 years ago, so it wasn't even that long.
It's not sufficiently old
Arkham
yet.
City?
City looks good.
No, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want a remake. I want them to do new things. Is what I'm excited about. Like that's what got me so pumped. It's kind of like what I complained about with Mortal Kombat. I was like, I want progression. I don't want to relive. Like I understand Final Fantasies. When did Final Fantasy VII come out?
1997, I believe.
Okay, so that is a way longer time, obviously, than Arkham City. So
It's looking like the remake will come out on the 20th anniversary.
So
I believe that they can, the skeptics would have you believe otherwise. I think that they're probably busting humps and doing like late shifts from here till 2017. I think that they can get this out in 2 years. I'm optimistic.
I would say I do have a game that I do play as a ritual, and it's something I feel like if any company needs redemption right now, it's Konami. And my ritual game has always been Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
if
God.
that got a remake,
Konami.
that's roughly it's about 20 years old now, I think. That would be the greatest. What's up, gentlemen?
It came within a few months of FF7, so roughly the same time, a little bit before, I think, actually.
Konami's got to do something. What's up?
Here's what Konami are doing. This is their game plan. Remove can of gasoline. Begin pouring can of gasoline around the house that Konami built. Light match. Get on boat. Sail away into the sunset. House is on fire. Collect insurance money. walk away, wash your
It's
hands.
like
of
they
it.
looked over at Capcom and said, challenge accepted. Let's see who can die first.
There was a family in that house, Konami. There was a family.
Remember that time they had that really cool like demo or something on the PlayStation 4 that everyone loved and kind of went viral, and then they were just like, "Fuck all that. We don't need that game to exist."
They made the greatest
I don't know what you're talking
horror
about.
game of all time.
As we speak about this, I'm looking at my Pyramid Head figure on my desk, and it just looks so depressed now. It hasn't changed standstill, but now it just looks sadder.
Like, they barely would have had to do like any advertising, like spend any money to advertise that game because it already went viral for free. People wanted to fucking play. Then you put fucking Norman Reedus in it. You're like, you know what? This isn't worth it. We're not gonna make this game.
Well, I think Hideo also took a dump on someone's desk. That didn't help.
All
I know is that was the best 3 hours of survival horror I've ever experienced in my life. I nothing has ever come close to making me feel the way Silent Hills did, and something's got to give with Konami.
I would agree, and I didn't even play the fucking thing. I just watched it a billion times. And I'm like, this shit is. Let's not. Let's talk about what is instead of what isn't. And that will never be anything.
Well, I mean, like, I think Sony's amazing conference was in the response to, like Razor said, the horrible console situation in Japan right now. This was kind of their redemption, and maybe we'll see that next year with Konami. Maybe they'll make an effort to restore faith. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what else Konami does other than make games. So I would hope they'd want to fix this shit, you know?
Not really. They have, like, health spas and, like, pachinko games, which are still pretty big over there. They have whole other lucrative businesses outside of video games.
Really?
Yeah, and the bottom line for them is that games just aren't as profitable as they used to be to justify the cost. So that's literally burning the house down and walking away. They don't give a shit anymore.
And
they
see,
made
that's
the Symphony of the Night health spa? What's up?
they have like Castlevania other shit, a lot of it, but it's all over there in Japan.
One of the recent quotes that one of the Konami execs said in regards to mobile development, which I think that they've still got their paws in, is we need to look more at what was the quote? Monetizing features, not so much extra content, and that's just set off huge warning bells for me. This is just how thinly veiled anti-consumer are you gonna get?
They want
guys.
to make
Pre-order
gameplay
at GameStop and you can jump. No,
well, I'm not
like,
buying Metal Gear 5 anymore. I didn't cancel because I didn't pre-order it, but that's done. I can't give that company money anymore. I just won't fucking do it.
Yeah. No,
Let's
but
talk
like,
about happy things. We'll let you finish. What do you got for us, Django?
no, I was just gonna say like the whole gaming situation in Japan is really interesting, and the game that I liked the most at the thing at E3, that thing, you know that thing was Recore, and it's made by Keiji Inafune with Microsoft. It's an exclusive, so I'm like, these Japanese dudes who actually want to make video games, I'm glad that they're like, you know what, games are still doing okay in the States apparently. I'm just gonna go make games for those people because their money spends too. I thought that was really interesting though that he's with a super American company. I haven't seen that a lot from Japanese developers. I thought they kind of like to stay within their own stuff, like Sony and whatnot.
He's all about that. He's like, this is the reason
like-
that we're dying is because we're not willing to cooperate because we're so introverted over here, and as opposed to American developers, we're not like absorbing new ideas. So we have to get that together, or we're going to die on our feet. He said something along the lines of
a
that.
culture gap, and also like to work with an American developer. I imagine you might want to have to move to America. But what I've noticed more is like the Japanese devs who want to stay in the game turning to Kickstarter, like Mighty Number 9 or Shenmue.
Or Bloodstained.
Well, we want to play video games still, and if Japan doesn't, if they feel like they just like Japanese just want to play mobile games, that's cool. But come take our money, make us stuff.
Speaking of Shenmue and Kickstarter, like I'm so happy for Shenmue fans that they're getting their game back because they've been waiting a long time. Like they're getting another addition to the series, but that was so odd to me that they used like that at E3 they're like, all right, here's the big reveal. a Kickstarter where you can pay us to make the game you want. Like, what? That just seems so weird to me.
In terms
like,
of making money, it was just about the most genius fucking thing. Because how is that not gonna then get a million fucking donations?
You can't do it on a grander stage. I'm just saying, like, these are like our developers these days. Is like, all right, guys, here you go. Here's the next game. If you give us enough money beforehand.
I would argue about like a professional developer using E3 to like announce a fucking donation campaign to make their game, but it's Sega. There's no way they have the money. They have to.
We're literally at the age of tell us what you want and give us some money for it, and we will do it. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah. If I heard like if that was the case for
like 15 years making bad Sonic games, you kind of this is the point Sega's at now.
You didn't like those werewolf games with Sonic? I liked him turn into a werewolf. I thought that made perfect sense.
Gotta go fast.
I'm lying, but
Hedgehog.
what game was that?
He's already a hedgehog.
I don't know. It was like
Sonic. Into a hedgehog.
08 or something.
What was it called?
I was a man and I turned into a different man.
Was it Sonic Unleashed?
I think so. I was working at GameStop when that game came out, and me and the other guys were just laughing all fucking day at that game. Because there's a promo for it, and they have no shame. It's like, we turned Sonic the Hedgehog into a fucking werewolf. And that played for like 8 hours a day.
I have to Google this.
Yeah, the last Sonic game I think I played was Sonic Adventure 2.
Which was good. I actually really liked Sonic Adventure games.
Yeah.
The last game I think I played was like Sonic Pinball on the Genesis. I have been away for a long time and seen no reason to return home.
I stopped at Sonic and Knuckles, so...
Well, probably... Sonic 3 with the Knuckles cartridge is probably the best Sonic game ever made. I think if you stopped there, you're done. You don't... I mean, I think the adventure games are really good, but it's a different creature.
Yeah,
it's not
different.
true Sonic to me.
Right.
But it's still really good. I liked fishing with that fat cat.
The cat's name is Big. Get it?
That's right.
He's big.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot that, but yes.
LOL.
Sonic franchise.
Jesus.
Is he in
Well, now he's got
Smash
longer
Brothers?
legs and a scarf, so... Yes, he is. Sonic? I
That's good. Yeah, Sonic.
don't think Knuckles is, though. Yet, that I'm aware of.
I've always been more of a Knuckles guy, so that's disappointing, but...
I like Knuckles, Shadow. Both of them are pretty cool. Sonic.
You know what they should really do? They should just do like a Sonic Smash Brothers. Just put all the characters in there, work with Nintendo on it. It would probably do pretty well.
They kind of tried something like that already. They did Sonic the Fighters, which is Virtual Fighter with Sonic.
What would really sell if they were going to make a Sonic fighting game is a create a character mode so all the DeviantArt guys can
Oh, God.
make
Dark
their
thoughts.
own.
Dark thoughts.
But the game that stole E3 for me personally, or the only one that I was like super pumped about leaving E3, which would be Fallout 4. I don't know if any of you like Fallout.
I do.
I like
never gotten around to
I don't
playing.
know. Like
It's
I
on my
feel
list.
like Bethesda's always a generation behind graphically, and that bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, I see. I mean, their games don't have the most up to date graphics, but in terms of
drives me crazy is like playing Skyrim. It's impossible to make a character who doesn't look ugly as hell. So it sort of takes me out of the desire to play the game when my avatar is this fucking. I don't even know how to describe it.
well, yeah, I guess it depends what you look for or what bothers you about games like that. But I don't know. Fallout, the series, just in general, is just incredibly fun. I mean, I like Oblivion and Skyrim, etc. as well. But for me, I guess they both have their own fan bases, but people that like Bethesda games usually like the other one as well. But for me, my favorite out of the two is the Fallout series, and I just love the post-apocalyptic wasteland type stuff, and just the whole art style, the theme, the 50s kind of theme, the Fallout, everything just feels
I love
so
the
authentic.
music
It's good.
choices. That franchise and also BioShock, they both have that old-timey music thing.
Yeah, based in like the 50s era. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just a huge fan of the series, so for me, that was my personal what I was looking most forward to out of E3. And I was not disappointed because Fallout 4 just looks absolutely amazing. So I can't wait for that game. That's currently my most anticipated game.
I'm very excited for it as well, but kind of for different reasons. My brother left gaming about 15 years ago, but Fallout 2 is one of his favorite games ever made.
Right.
So he's going to buy a console just to play Fallout 4.
Yeah.
That makes me incredibly happy. Fallout 3, I like the game. I never beat it to this day, but I got about 75% through it. I'll never forget when I saw the opening, and I think your father, who is voiced by Liam Neeson, but looks like Sam Neill, is like the first thing you encounter in that game. And when that scene happened, I could feel the fault line forming in my brain. I was just like, what is going on? Like, to this day, it's one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had in gaming. But I like it. I love games that I love increasing my stats. I love leveling up. It's one reason going back to Symphony of the Night,
Yeah.
I just love like high action character building. That's very fun to me. So I plan on killing a lot of hours with Fallout 4.
Yeah. You can easily spend a couple hundred in Fallout just searching around, doing all the side crap, upgrading stuff, and the new one has even more stuff going on where you can actually build your own bases and towns and fortify them and set cult bring people in type of thing. It's just incredibly expansive compared to what Fallout 3 and New Vegas did, which were amazing in their own right.
There's a dog now, I think.
There is a dog, yes.
I'm excited for the dog. Like, that was one of the best parts about Dragon Age, man. I had a fucking dog.
Dogs are cool, companion.
They're good shit, dude. They really are. I've had a real dog.
Our
It's
new
pretty
feature.
tight.
Yeah, and you can
best friend.
You can set it to go grab items and shit.
Did it really take Call of Duty to get us to all realize how awesome dogs in games would be?
Well, I feel
was it like the last year, the year of the dog in terms of video
everybody
games?
loved that, so I feel like that was kind of a...
Yeah.
But I feel like Call of Duty kind of fucked up on the dog. I don't think that dog was as good. I feel like that dog was a little quick timing. Just me.
I know
guys.
it didn't look that good, even though they were like, look at this dog. This dog has amazing hair.
I want you guys to rate dogs in the next Warrior Shrine.
There's no reason we can't.
This dog is so next gen.
But yeah,
For me,
go ahead.
No, the game, well, it would involve me switching tacks to the game that I'm really looking forward to, but I'll let you guys go on about Fallout a little bit more.
No, I was just gonna ask if anybody else had anything to say about Fallout. If not, then we can move on to the
It is a
next
game
one.
series that I've wanted to try for a long time. Something about paying for things with bottle caps. You got my money.
Oh, it's
My
just
bottle.
incredibly fun. If you haven't
Uncharted, I never played that. Uncharted, Dead Space, Mass Effect. If it's a franchise that debuted within the 2000 decade, odds are I never picked it up, and I mean to rectify a lot of those mistakes very soon.
That's exactly my situation. All of those games you mentioned are games that are on my list as well that just haven't gotten around to it for whatever reason.
Definitely check out Fallout. You can find Fallout 3, other than the graphical thing Razor was talking about, which it doesn't bother me, but I could see why. They are definitely... They're not the top of the line graphics, because I think it suffers from just such it's like a massive environment, so I could see why it could be quite taxing. But regardless, you can pick that up for like $20, both that and New Vegas. It's really cheap.
I don't want to sound like a graphics whore or anything. Like, it's not that big a deal to me. It's a faces thing. It's like when we complain about like NetherRealm games.
Right.
They're bad at making faces, and they always have been, going back to the earliest Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely check those out, because I recommend trying Fallout 3 or New Vegas before you go into Fallout 4, just so you get an idea of what it feels like. That way, if you're really into it, it gives you something to be excited for, because, oh man, such a good game.
It's one of the few... I don't game as often as I used to, so I could be wrong about this, but it's one of the few true sandbox games where it really does feel like an open world. Unlike Borderlands, which has the appearance of being an open world,
right?
But it's super linear when you really look at it from a broader scope, in my opinion.
Yeah, and
you're still following, you're connecting dots. But what's up?
No, I'm just saying, I feel like it's quite night and day, and that's not... I don't have any problem with Borderlands, but if I'm comparing Borderlands to Fallout in terms of like the amount of detail and the passion it seems like, and the stuff you can explore and the little things, I feel like Fallout is just it has so much more of like a engaging experience, so to speak, and a world that feels lived in, even though it's wasteland, so it sounds kind of funny, but I don't know, it just... Borderlands to me feels kind of, like you said, it's almost like in Grand Theft Auto, online or whatever, when you're going around the city, you really can't go in a lot, in 95% of the buildings. So although the world is massive, there's not really a whole much you can do in terms of like go inside those things. But and that's what I equate, I guess, with Borderlands. That's my one disappointment is I just feel like it's kind of, like you said, linear and there's not as much stuff to do outside of the normal stuff that you would normally do. Whereas Fallout, you can just explore.
It's shallow to me. I think Borderlands is incredible fun. It's one of my favorite games, honestly, but I see it for what it is, really. And I think what adds to the sandboxiness of Fallout is the dialogue trees and shit like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the socializing. That has a lot to do with what makes a sandbox game to me, but...
The RPG elements in Fallout in general are just a lot of fun. The first thing you do is fill out, like, you have a certain amount of stat points to spend, and you fill them into strength, agility, intelligence, charisma, science, etc. And you put your stat points into and that's what you'll be leveling up for, the future. And that in itself is fun, and you have luck. Luck is fun as hell to put up because you can crank it up to 10, put your luck at max. So when you go to shoot somebody, you would normally miss the shot and it'll just blow their head off. Like, luck actually plays a factor, and it's kind of fun. Or like a random giant animal will come and attack a bad guy for you just out of nowhere. I don't know, just crazy. It's just a fun fucking game. I don't know.
You see,
it's so
you played
crazy.
the game right. I didn't play the game right. I put everything into charisma because I didn't want to shoot things. I wanted to convince vampires to give me information.
You don't
That's
like
all
charisma?
I wanted to do.
You don't like charisma?
I love charisma. I put everything
No,
into
I
charisma.
put all my stuff goes into agility, charisma, and a little bit into luck, and a lot into intelligence as well. But I love charisma too because there's certain times where you talk to somebody and you can actually change people's minds or get them to do something they wouldn't normally do or help you out in the story if you meet a certain, point value requirement. So you have to have a 65 out of 100 charisma, you can get somebody to actually help you, which completely changes the way something will play out in the game. And I think that's quite fun. I like the charisma myself.
It's very fun, but like I told you guys, I only got 75% through the game. And the reason is because I put so much into charisma that my character wasn't playable anymore. I couldn't kill things. So...
there's always a way. There's always a way. I see. For me, my dump stat is strength. I put like very little into strength, and that sucks because the whole time I have to drop so much items because I'm always over encumbered that I can't fucking carry shit. So I'm always having to go back to town to sell stuff. But yeah, strength is what I focus on least. But yeah, that and science. But I like science too because you can do some really cool stuff with that. But yeah, in general, that's probably enough about Fallout, but definitely recommend checking that out, especially if you like the old 50s art style and music and all that stuff, and just the idea of bomb shelters and Fallout and what if the world had gone to shit at that point. Just interesting. But anyway, Shadowloo, you had a game to talk about? Hello? Shadowloo, are you there still?
Yes, I am. My mic was off for some reason. I don't know what the hell. Loose wire. Yes. It's developed by Platinum Games. It is basically Bayonetta, but it's got Transformer skins on it.
Oh,
holy shit!
I didn't know that was a Platinum game.
Yes, it is.
Now I'm excited to tell.
Yes, really yes. Now, the thing is, they're saying, it's not a Generation 1 Transformers game. Strictly speaking, it takes elements from a lot of places, but it's so fucking totally a Transformers Generation 1 game. Look at the goddamn thing. They even got, like, the original voice acting cast back to do their characters. And that's going to be a little bit rough, because I think that Peter Cullen's stuck in movie Optimus Prime mode, because that's what he sounds like still.
He's a little too, grand.
Yeah, he's like stop voice acting Optimus and just
like he's not able to say anything that's not an inspirational speech, and that really kind of makes the Optimus character more one note than it was back in the 80s.
It basically kind of began with the movie when he started getting really grandiose. Before that, he just sort of, I think he just walked into the studio and just recited his lines. He should just, do that. He can still be Optimus, but he's just stuck in movie Optimus mode. He's not as bad as Wheeljack, who sounds like he's been smoking a pack and a half since like 1985. But nevertheless, I'm gonna really, really enjoy the shit out of this game. I mean, I saw them fighting like individual Constructicons. individual fucking Constructicons. To someone who's not a Transformers fan, that's probably not that much of a big deal. But considering the fact that whenever you see the Constructicons in like media, they're always like, let's just turn into Devastator. You say that for any combiner, really. They don't get any solo time, so actually fighting them as unique enemies is a really nice touch.
There is, I think, one exception. Swindle's part of a combiner, isn't he?
Swindle does get a lot of... Yeah, he's the exception, yeah, definitely, Swindle. He is. He's part of the Combaticons.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the exception to the rule. They don't have much personalities outside that, but damn it, they could if they only gave them a bit of time. I've always been a fan of Dead End of the Stunticons, because his bio is like, we're all doomed. There's no point. I'm going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. What does it matter if the doom comes from behind? Doom is doom. He's so miserable. He's the only goth Transformer, swear to God. Anyhow. There was that.
Real quick. What's the track record for Transformers games? Is this like the first big one we should have...
There was the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron.
Those were decent. Rise of the Darkspark was a tie-in masquerading as part of the entire franchise, and it was not at all good. Aside from that,
are these recent?
Last couple of years. Last maybe 5 or 6, I think.
Right.
Yeah, last gen.
They're worth checking out. There was also the PS2 Armada game, which is just called Transformers. That was actually really decent. But apart from that, I can't really recommend any of the movie games or... God, especially not the first one. Transformer games have had it rough. This looks to be the first one that really, really, really is going to capture the spirit of what made me love Transformers in the first place. Couldn't be more happy. Couldn't be more glowingly happy. Apart from that, FF7 remake, meh. E3 was okay, I guess.
Well, I got one I want to throw out there then. How do we feel about Doom?
Yeah, I don't hate it like a lot of people seem to. For some people, I don't know what Doom will be apart from the original Doom. I don't think there will be any pleasing, like, hardcore Doom fans. Because this looks like Doom to me. It looks like, with the graphical capabilities of modern day, but it looks very much like what I would expect from a modern day Doom game.
Kind of what I like about it.
Yeah.
Django, you were saying something?
I was not.
Okay, well, I'll continue. Basically, like, I had some qualms with Doom 3, so this is more akin to what I wanted Doom 3 to be. Doom was never a survival horror to me. The horror was you. You were haunting the demons. You were the one that everyone was supposed to be scared.
It's an action game. You're supposed to be a badass.
Yeah, it's like kind of like it's the Evil Dead 2 of video games for me, you know? I guess really what to Doom, I guess you're the badass and the demons are supposed to run from you. They don't, but that's the idea of Doom is Henry Rollins shows up with a shotgun and the demons get fucked up. That's Doom to me, you know?
This is actually kind of why I like that ridiculous Doom comic. It feels accurate.
I saw the Linkara review of that. That was brilliant.
Do you know how often I've gone, ooh, here comes the night train? Well, when you're on playing Doom. Yeah.
You are huge. That means you have huge guts.
Rip and tear.
Now I'm in a totally different place.
The Doom comic.
But I just feel like it's very balls to the walls, you know? I feel like Doom 3 was very much a product of its time. And this one is too. You know, we're going back to remakes and vintage. So this one's no exception. And both games have a very interesting development history. But just the things I like about Doom is just they're very empowering games, you know? So I'm excited. And I like Melee. Like, Destiny had a lot of problems, but I liked the Melee. And it looks like they're taking that a step up. So that looks a lot more fun.
I mean, that is one thing that Bungie does really well, because the Halo games have that same sort of feeling, where it's just run and charge, get up in their face, as opposed to other first-person shooters where you kind of want to be a sniper.
Exactly. There's something very Star Wars-ish about the combat in Destiny that I like, and the one thing that does bother me is being skillful at Doom isn't just about not getting hit and being accurate. It's also about resource management. I hope that is maintained, but I just don't think that's something the current generation does anymore.
Yeah, you don't really see, like, health packs as opposed to recharging health.
Exactly. I mean, Doom was all about precision and just, you know, not being wasteful, using your resources properly. With Melee, I hope it's not too good. In Resident Evil 6, I meleeed my way through that game pretty much. I never had an ammo shortage ever. I mean, that game sucks, but that's not a good example. But I would like to see that return to an extent. But if it doesn't, I'm okay. I just want to play Doom again. I just want to see Doom be Doom. And I hate the fact in Doom 3, it was like the Cyber Demon was some big fucking secret. And when you got to the end of the game, it's like, well, he's a Cyber Demon, you know, and then you kill him, the game ends, and it's not a big fucking deal. In this game, they're just no reservations. This is your Simon Demon and Cyber Demon, and they just have a showdown right at the end of the trailer. You have your BFG, he's got a Cyber Demon cyborg gun, and it just, bam, Doom. Oh god, it was so badass. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't pre-order a lot of non-fighting games, but this one I will pre-order for sure.
I'm definitely on board. I didn't hate Doom 3 or anything, but this does look more like what I used to, run around playing in my youth, so why the hell not?
Yeah, I didn't hate Doom 3 either.
It is a specific trailer, though, designed to make you feel this is Doom. We're bringing it back.
Exactly, and I feel like 3 was the opposite. It's like, this is the new Doom. This is the Doom we could never make before.
Wasn't Doom 3 like designed to be a corridor shooter?
Pretty well.
If I remember it correctly.
Corridor survival horror slow crawling thing.
You just have a flashlight and things pop out at you type of thing.
You can either have a flashlight on or shoot shit at the same something like that.
Yeah,
it's more akin to like Dead Space than it probably is to anything like the original Doom. And I mean, if I had one complaint about Doom 4, it's that it's another reboot. And I understand you can't make a sequel to Doom 3. You obviously can't make a sequel to Doom 2. I just hope this time they actually do something with the reboot and make a franchise out of it. I want a Doom 2 in 3 years. I want them to actually make a character. Give Henry Rollins a personality. And make it matter in a game later. I'm tired of the reboots, What's up, Razor?
Yeah, well, it sort of reminds me of, like when they reboot and then they don't really set it up well for a sequel. That always reminds me of the problem the Highlander movies had, where like at the end he, got the prize and all the other immortals were dead, so they had to come up with bullshit to make a sequel happen. Because, like, I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago they were talking about rebooting Highlander and they were going to cast fucking Ryan Reynolds as Connor McLeod. I read the script for that leaked, and at the end, they do the same fucking thing they did in the first movie. They don't leave any immortals alive to set up for the fucking... Like, if you want to have a Highlander franchise, like, start at the beginning of The Gathering, not at the end.
Well, I'd be okay with Ryan Reynolds being the Highlander and getting the prize at the end, as long as we get Michael Ironside back for the Quickening remake. Then I'd be okay with that. That would be... I actually like the Quickening, not because it's good, because it's really funny. If you don't want to watch the movie, at least watch the Spoonie review. It's one of his best reviews.
It's definitely funny. I will give you that. It's got a lot more going for it than that fucking TV movie they made at the fifth one.
No, I absolutely agree. And to be honest with you, like I like Michael Ironside unironically. I think he's fun to watch.
Voice. He has like one of the most iconic voices out there.
Sam Fisher. Yeah.
He's also got one of those emotive faces. Like he does Gristled so well. He's a handsome man.
But like, if I was gonna like make Highlander
increasingly personal,
he should play Shinnok in a movie.
If they sold a wall scroll, I'd buy it. And yeah, oh my god, he'd be a great Shinnok. Holy shit, that'd be awesome.
It would be. Well, he has a history playing other dimensional demon things.
Except for MKX, Shinnok has that more like high pitched weird voice. It's like,
yeah, he's the Emperor.
Hey guys, I'm Shinnok. Instead of I'm Shinnok like this, he's more like I defeated you, Raiden.
Man.
Troy Baker in the new game?
I don't know, sure.
I think he is, which is the same voice actor for fucking like 3 people, but one of them was Aaron Black.
Huh. Which is funny, because Aaron Black has a much deeper voice.
Well, if you're a good voice actor and not Steve Bloom, you can do a lot of...
He was also the voice for... Troy Baker does everything. He's also the voice for the main guy in Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, Troy Baker did the Joker in Arkham Origins as well.
Yeah, he does a pretty good Hamill impression.
Yeah.
Actually, if we can go into MK territory for a few seconds, did you guys hear the leaked Tremor audio files?
No.
I
That's not a surprise, though.
I heard the one that's Tanya related because it led to our whole bisexuality theory.
That's the one, yeah. I like how Tremor sounds. They seem to be going against the stereotype that we've all had of him as being this big, dumb brute. He actually sounds kind of smart, and he apparently enjoys Johnny Cage's movies.
Where are those files located on the interwebs?
Smokeman showed them to me, at least the Tanya ones.
Same.
They are around.
Okay.
They're floating. He sounds like Rain's vocals, but with more of a filter.
He's a bit more eloquent than we thought he was going to be. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him now.
I was expecting a big dumb guy, but not because it's Tremor and he's, a big broody figure dude. It's because they cast Fred Tatasciore, who I know best is voicing the Hulk in a ton of things.
I'd be okay with either, honestly. I think it turned out good, but I didn't really have any standard for what Tremor should sound like, so I'm just going with the flow. I'm cool either way, really.
I just like the idea of it, not playing to the cliche. Because Tremor is this is his first appearance, and you want him to be something more than one note so that people don't think he's stupid like we already do.
Well, they seem to be on the right path. That's what's currently impressing me. So,
on that note, though, I do want to say a lot of people are disappointed because they thought a combat pack was going to be announced at E3, a second combat pack. People, they're not going to do it at E3. They're going to do it at EVO. They're not going to announce it next to Fallout 4. That doesn't make any sense. They're going to do it at the fighting game event of the year. If they do it, I think it's a solid 50-50. I have no idea if they're going to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it until after the first one finished.
Yeah. That's
it's like me back. It's like me back when I was 13 years old, watching the Oscars, and I'm like, didn't MK at least get a mention for choreographed fighting? This is bullshit. I was a stupid child. I didn't know any better.
Yeah, that's not how the Oscars work.
I was hoping there was some sort of martial arts category that I had, because I hadn't even paid attention to the Oscars before that point in time. But like I said, I was a stupid child.
I don't think you were wrong, though. That year, did anything come out that was heavy on martial arts? I think it was good for its time. I'm not into martial arts movies particularly. I have my favorites. I love Unleashed. I love the Five Deadly Venoms. But I'm not an enthusiast by any means. But it looked good to me. I'm not a critic, though.
Yeah, there's no kung fu movie category, though.
Well, go back in time and
as pretentious and artsy as possible.
Go back in time and tell that to 13-year-old me. He would have appreciated the slow, gradual letdown, rather than wasting his time in front of the theater, in front of the TV screen all night.
If I can go back in time and tell the 13-year-old Shadowloo anything, I would tell him, when Temp sends you links to alternate costumes, do not click the link, ever. That's what I would tell him.
I'm so over it. I'm so done.
I feel so bad.
At least you're not like some people out there listening. Hey, the Arkham Knight isn't beepy deepy deep or derp derp derp. Sorry, buddy, but I blocked you because you're getting on my nerves. But we'll talk after the game's done. Okay? Okay.
Ouch. Ouch.
Love you, dude.
Nobody likes when people tease spoilers when they don't want to be spoiled, no matter how... if you tiptoe around something trying to be cute, it's a good chance that the other guy doesn't think it's as cute as you think it is. So that's just my opinion.
It's not cute. It's ugly. It makes you ugly, buddy.
Before
I'm sorry.
Before MKX came out, people were trying to do that kind of stuff on the forums and me or on Skype or whoever. And it's just no, this isn't funny. I just don't want to be spoiled. I don't want you to tell me it's not this or that or this the other thing or give me little hints or even talk to somebody else in my presence and use code words because it's all the same bullshit.
You guys are nuts. That's the best. I love it when people do that.
No. Shut up. You don't like that.
Brother going, dude, this game is so amazing. 2 of my 3 favorite supervillains are in it. Shut the fuck up. I know you. I know who you like. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, some people are horrible.
All these things to the list of things I will tell 13-year-old Shadowloo, so when the time comes, I'll be ready.
But anyways, and yes, if anybody, speaking of Arkham Knight, if anybody hasn't, man, I went into this completely dark, and I'm enjoying it a ton, and that's all I'm going to say on it, because I don't want to even spoil a damn thing or even hint at anything about it.
slept well the past couple days because I wanted to, blaze through the story as hard and fast as I could so that I couldn't be spoiled accidentally.
I wish I could do that, but I've had work, so I'm a little bit past like 70%, but I'm just enjoying it a ton. So I don't even want to. I honestly don't even want to talk about the game because I just want people to.
Yeah, I don't know how
experience
much
it.
we can talk about the game considering we're all at different levels of.
Let's
progression.
give it another 2 weeks on that.
I just got to like Island 2, and I just want to say this. I haven't been on this island for more than 35 minutes, and this is the game. But like as a diehard Batman fan, going back to my childhood, this is the game that makes me feel like I'm Batman more than anything else. A lot of people are saying that the Batmobile sections are too shoehorned in, or they compromise the freedom of what you want to do. And I don't care. I've been wanting the Batmobile since Arkham Asylum.
Necessarily. I like I think the Batmobile was integrated into the game perfectly fine. I just don't think it controls very well.
That's fair.
I
A friend of mine says it feels a little bit sluggish
you need
too. I can
too
understand
many
that.
buttons to control the combat mode. I feel like
I know. Well, I get what you're saying, and I felt it too. There's a huge
it also
growing.
steers like shit when you have to chase somebody. So
I feel like there's definitely a lot of growing pains with the controls on the Batmobile. But with that said, with as much stuff as the Batmobile is supposed to accomplish, and how much it actually comes to realization in this game. I think it's about as good as you're gonna get in terms of capturing that in
that's
a
the
game
thing.
like
Like
this.
I'm not necessarily complaining. It's just the game is so ambitious. Like both
Yeah.
the Batmobile and Batman himself have so many moves that you need.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot to
your
like.
hands into claws trying to work this fucking controller.
But yes, we will talk more Arkham Knight in a couple weeks because there's a lot that I want to discuss, but I want everyone to at least have a good amount of time to complete everything. Plus, I want to beat the game, but there's been so much that's already happened that I just want to be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But anyways, that's all I want to talk about that. Let's move on to the next game. I actually have one more game that I want to talk about briefly. Is anybody followed Rainbow Six Siege at all? I don't know if you guys are into that kind of type of game or not.
Well,
Haven't played it.
I work at Ubisoft, so I see it every day.
Well, there you go. I like Rainbow Six, Vegas 1 and Vegas 2 I was a big fan of. That's the only real Rainbow Six games that I've ever been into. I mean, I'm huge into Splinter Cell, so I love that other Tom Clancy, obviously, franchise, so to speak. But Rainbow Six, yeah, Vegas 1 and Vegas 2 were a lot of fun, especially for the terrorist hunt. That's pretty much why I played them, was for the terrorist hunt. So when Siege was announced way back whenever the hell it was last year at E3, I believe. So seeing more of that, I think it comes out in October or November of this year. I'm excited for that game a lot because it's got a really interesting dynamic of somebody has a hostage in a house, or one team has a hostage in the house and the other team has to break in, and it sounds like it requires a huge amount of teamwork to be successful with the game multiplayer wise. So it just seems like a fun new dynamic of team versus team multiplayer shooter type stuff. More tactical, which I like. I like more tactical game modes like that rather than just pure deathmatch.
Kind of similar to my question with Transformers. I'm sort of out of the loop. Do we have a good variety of games that are quality right now in that genre? I mean, obviously there's shooters galore right now, but stealth games, are those doing is there a healthy alternative to a good stealth game right now?
Well,
I only played Metal Gear.
I can only think of 3 main stealth games off the top of my head, and I'm a big fan of stealth games, but if you're talking about full-on release, not arcade type, Xbox Live Arcade or anything like that, or PSN games, if you're talking pure actual console release titles, I can only think of Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell are the 2 big ones, and then you could also lump the Arkham games under stealth as well because there's a lot of stealth mechanics, obviously.
I would say one of my favorite stealth game is it was an Xbox Live Arcade title that came out a few years ago, Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that game is great.
Yeah, I got that on Steam, and that's a lot of fun as well. But yeah, in terms of just pure stealth and not talking the arcade type games like that, those are probably the only 3 that I can think of that are stealth based, are a big focus on it, I should say.
And I do like
Tenchu
stealth
game.
games. Oh, what's up, Django?
Tenchu was
Have you-
legit.
Yeah, did
Tenchu was
anyone
good
else
times.
ever play Tenchu?
Haven't
Yeah.
played it.
Fucking yeah. So yeah, there needs to be
PlayStation
another
era.
Tenchu. Right.
I was
so,
about to say, man, if you want like more good games from the PSX era that could use a reboot or a modern day retelling, Tenchu might be at the top of my list. That was great.
it was really good. Those guys are making Dark Souls and Bloodborne now. I don't know if they want to go back to
those are the same
Tenchu.
guys?
Yeah, the same dudes from Software. But yeah, those
Dark
games were
Souls is
badass stealth
big
games.
shit right now. I mean, if you hang around gamers, you're gonna hear so much about Dark Souls. Like, I have the game. I got like 30 minutes into it, and I was
hearing about the
yeah?
Souls games.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Breaking Bad of video games in the sense that everyone loves it, but it's hard to tell how many because the people who do are just so fucking vocal. And it's good. This is not me bashing Dark Souls, listeners. I'm not.
No, it's you
Promise.
bashing Breaking Bad.
Also, I guess you could lump Assassin's Creed into that as well, stealth-based.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of Breaking Bad real quick, just completely other thing on Arkham Knight, it is so weird that Mike from Breaking Bad is the voice of Commissioner Gordon. I just think that's so weird to me. I didn't notice that until the trailers, and then because he has that really deep, gravelly voice.
I knew he sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Wait,
But I don't
hold
actually
on.
watch
It's
Breaking
ironic
Bad,
because
so
I feel like Bryan Cranston has voiced Gordon.
He has.
Yeah,
he did
he
it in
did.
Batman Year One, the animated
Yeah,
version of it.
I thought he was the best Gordon I think I've seen in like a voice acting thing.
I still like the animated
Well, it's not
series.
him.
I like the animated series Gordon the best.
Yeah, I mean
in my
he's good.
opinion.
He's good.
But yeah, no, Bryan Cranston did great in Year One, and but yeah, no, Mike from Breaking Bad is just completely random in my opinion. I mean, it's
Well,
good.
real
He does
quick,
good, but
as someone who hasn't watched Breaking Bad or played Dark Souls, who was Mike in Breaking Bad?
if you haven't seen it, then you probably wouldn't know because
Well,
he
I've seen
hasn't
the
been
first
on much.
season. I
Okay.
never saw anything after that.
Mike, he's like he wasn't in the first season. He works for what the hell's that name? Gus Fring or Fringe, the main
I
bad guy of
probably don't know
the Los Pollos chicken guy.
has he done anything else recognizable? Because, like I said, I haven't really watched Breaking Bad more than a couple episodes.
He was
but-
on the first couple episodes of on Better Call Saul because it's a prequel to Breaking Bad. But other than that, no, I can't picture him on anything else.
Don't know where I would have heard him then.
I'm sure he's been on other things, but nothing that I've like recognizably seen him from.
So I was like, this isn't an acceptable Commissioner Gordon, but he sounds like someone else I've heard. I just don't
Yeah, he sounds very similar. His voice, and it's the first person that I thought of when I heard the voice was not Mike from Breaking Bad. It was it's the guy from he's a very popular actor, like older actor. He was in The Big Lebowski. He's the one that does the narration. Also, Ghostwriter. The narration
Sam
guy.
Elliott.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
he
Thank you.
sounds like that guy, but no, it's not
That's
that
a great
guy.
voice.
Yeah.
That guy's voice is more famous than his acting, really.
Yeah. But yes, he sounds the Mike from Breaking Bad when he's doing Commissioner Gordon sounds very similar to that guy. So that's probably who you were thinking, because that's who I was thinking. But anyways, okay, well that's all I really cared about that game. I just want to mention it. Any other games? For me, it's like Halo 5 and Gears I'm somewhat interested in, but I'm not... Like, I'm a huge Halo fan, but I'm not excited for it right now. I'll get more into that when we get closer to release time, but right now I just don't give a shit. But
Well, how about that Goat Simulator port for Xbox? It's gonna be the fucking tits right there.
Nice.
There was Kitchen, which I thought... I can't say it looked cool because I didn't show any of it, but it sounded really cool. That's the Capcom Morpheus survival horror. And even though I have no intention of buying it, I'm looking forward to the playthroughs. Like, I really like it. It sounds very Silent Hills-ish. So that kind of has my interest. I watched a lot of the reaction videos of people who played like the... If you don't know what Morpheus is, it's the Oculus Rift sort of alternative.
Yeah, it's like their version of the HoloLens.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know.
That shit was kind of nuts.
It sounds interesting to me. The visuals, because that's all I really know is what people said in interviews of what they saw. It sounds more akin to something like The Grudge than it does to like, I don't know, like a serial killer sort of scenario.
What was it called?
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
That should set up some warning bells.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't know.
an odd name for a game. It kind of like reminds me of like That game where you play as a piece of bread trying to get the toaster.
No, you don't think of like
I've heard of
cannibals
that.
in the kitchen, people being chopped up into tiny pieces. No.
Well, I just think of kitchens. Like if there was another word onto it, maybe.
Every time you say kitchen and video game, I just can't. This is gonna sound awful, but I have to make this joke because I can't just let it pass.
Cooking
I
Mama.
just think-
It's about Cooking Mama, isn't it?
I just think I can't help but think the game is called Kitchen, and all it is, it's an anti-feminist game where it just features a female character lead, and all she does is make sandwiches. And every time she tries to leave the kitchen, you have to start over. I don't know. Like I said,
want our listeners to know that
sort of
Shadaloo
get
is
replaced
not
by
laughing.
smacking her. It's like
it's
you
like I
leave the
said.
room and you come back and suddenly she's wearing shoes and you have to fucking play the hand down.
Like I said, completely a joke. I'm not into that. I believe in equality, so it's just a funny joke.
Personally, I am now going to associate the word kitchen with Daredevil. Daredevil.
That's a
Hell's
good one.
Kitchen. Daredevil.
That's
There you
true.
go.
Hell's Kitchen.
It's the Daredevil.
That was the
game.
other thing I thought of. I thought of Daredevil and the game where you make toast.
Oh, God. So let's talk about how Microsoft didn't make me feel the need to buy a car.
To buy
Despite the fact that they lowered one for no particular reason
Oh,
onto the stage. Well, what was it? Need for Speed, I think it was.
I think it was.
Fucking
I thought
racing
it was
games with
Forza,
this-
like Forza
Who gives
18.
a shit? I don't care. Forza, Need for
Yeah.
Speed, fucking. I don't know, fucking
I
12
don't-
goddamned cars
I
and
don't know if the
look at our
people-
racetracks and Crazy Taxi. Is it Crazy Taxi?
Ooh, Crazy
Eh?
Taxi! I
No.
would get hype for Crazy
Crazy
Taxi.
Taxi isn't like it's a fun arcadey game like the racing games where it's all about fucking you like cars, right? Well, we have like all the brands.
There's only one.
For a very specific like
Damn.
kind of person. I don't think that person watches E3.
All right, welcome to Crazy Taxi.
You know how
my
we
God.
have more
Was I
to
the
say
only
about
one that was
Crazy
thinking of
Taxi
Crazy
than, like, the
Taxi
other
during the
indie
Uncharted
franchises
4
I
video?
named?
Oh no, that was
I don't,
very
I don't
similar.
think of Crazy Taxi unless Offspring is playing. So
The only racing game I really want to see again, like brought back, and unfortunately it's bought out by the same people that make Need for Speed now, so I don't know if they're gonna keep making it or not, is Burnout, because that was a fucking fun game. And Dead Silence. But no, Burnout was great.
Why isn't it Crazy Taxi, though? That's the only question I have.
well,
Aren't you
Sega
playing
owns
a racing
Crazy
game where you
Taxi,
could
so
be playing Crazy
you're gonna have to
Taxi?
kickstart that one.
Or Road Rash, that was a fun one too.
Sega, we're listening.
Has there been a
Shenmue
Road
Cross
Rash
Crazy
since
Taxi?
the NES?
No, they were gonna make another one. They had like a prototype build of it, like some footage of it, but they never built or actually made it. Which is a shame.
yeah.
All right.
He was thinking. That's what I think when I hear the Crazy Taxi is just yeah.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, I am Lord.
That
the
new Rare game, it looked good.
Mario Tennis got announced. I like
Oh,
the Mario
what
Tennis games.
The fuck are you talking
Dude,
about?
I like Mario Tennis, Mario Party. I like all those games. Deal with it.
Oh
Who'd you
god,
use,
fucking
Cyborg?
Disney's like big giant hour in the middle of their video that they showed. Like, you can call it a conference if you want. It was a video. But that's like that hour. That like, okay, listen, this is just for the Japanese audience. Clearly, if you guys aren't from Japan, you can just kind of check your phones for a little bit. There's some crazy ass fucking games they showed.
I like the Nintendo puppets.
Yeah, I
No,
like.
that was good. That was good. I'm talking about like the anime game where the chicks are singing and they have boob physics on a Nintendo machine. Pop.
It wouldn't be
music,
the
I
first
don't know what
time
happened.
there's been. I mean, Hyrule Warriors does have that villainous with the giant rack.
Ooh, I will.
Forgot about that. Did that ever come out?
I don't like the way you said rack.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors has been out for a while. It's actually a really good game. I mean,
I have a Wii U now. I'm just too
You should
gamed
play
out
some
to
Mario
play it.
Tennis sometime.
Who did you main in Mario Tennis, Cyborg?
Yoshi, I always main in any Mario game like party style, whether it's Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, not Super Smash Brothers. I don't main this character in Super Smash Brothers, but Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, which I play Mario Golf as well. It's always 100% of the time, every time, Yoshi.
Okay.
No, No, it
People have faith
isn't.
in these
I
games.
always play as Yoshi. That's my guy.
And you are living proof to the contrary of everything that I've believed for the last 20 years.
Seriously, I thought
Which is
everybody
no-
liked Yoshi.
No, I thought no one liked. I thought no one gave a
What?
shit about Yoshi.
I like.
I've never heard a single person
I don't like
say that they were a
Yoshi as a
Yoshi fan.
solo character, but I will say
What the
that World
fuck?
is my favorite Super Mario game.
Yoshi.
Yeah,
I'm
but
partial
everybody
to blue
loves
Yoshi.
Who
personally.
the fuck doesn't like Yoshi?
I don't like Yoshi.
What
give a
the
shit about
fuck?
Yoshi.
It's not like Yoshi. Like, I don't have any strong feelings one
He's
way
a
or the
cute
other. But to
dinosaur with a
actually
giant
dislike
tongue. He's
Yoshi
for
is
all
kinda
ages.
weird.
I saw a beautiful scene
His
of
giant
Dennis
tongue
Hopper
is for
having
all
a confrontation
He's
with
a
a
good
dinosaur.
babysitter.
It's like if you said I hate Toad, then okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But play Yoshi.
Who
Whatever you
doesn't like?
do.
I was always a fan of Toad when I was a kid.
Must be a Canada thing because everybody loves Yoshi here.
Yeah, Yoshi's pretty popular down
The
there.
Yoshi's a
Bizarro
big
world.
deal. We celebrate Yoshi Day. Okay, that may not be true, but the
What
rest
the
of
fuck is
everything.
wrong with you, America?
I have
Jesus
a
Christ.
Yoshi like 10-inch figurine just sitting like 5 feet. Okay, not 5 feet, but it's 10 feet from me.
You must be psyched about Woolly World then.
No, I actually haven't looked at that at all.
Dude, in Mario
I thought
World,
that game
like,
was penultimate proof that like no one, including Nintendo, gave a shit about Yoshi.
Well, they did Kirby's Yarn. It's just like an extension of that. But regardless, everybody likes Yoshi.
Oh,
Who the
Kirby's
fuck-
cool.
I'm used to like having to fight people for Yoshi.
I don't hate him, but I just
He's got all the colors. He's
Got all the colors.
he's both gay and race friendly. He's got like all the Yoshis.
He shits
he's
eggs.
gay
it's
and
amazing.
race friendly. What?
Because he's got all the colors. He's like a rainbow creature.
Oh, I thought there was like sort of like Mario thing. Where,
Well,
like,
I mean,
Yoshi's
Bert-
like,
well, technically,
however you want to
if-
swing
if
Mario.
you
and
wanna-
Yoshi,
they're
I'm
not
cool
all the
with
same
that.
guy.
if you want to get technical, Birdo in Mario 2 was supposed to be a dude, and Yoshi and Birdo, even though Birdo's been more like a girl ever since then, because, obviously
Well, I
Mario
thought
2
the thing
wasn't
was
really...
It was a cross-dresser.
He would prefer to be
Sure,
called Redetta.
regardless, but Yoshi gets down with anybody, because that's Yoshi for you. Fucking Yoshi's good.
So Yoshi represents the LGBT community, is what you're saying.
I'm saying Yoshi represents every man, child, woman, whatever race, creed, or color. I have
Dennis
a
Hopper.
dream of a day where everybody plays as fucking Yoshi.
Well, that's going to be a problem because I like Waluigi.
I'm
You
so
would
very
like
glad.
Waluigi. Of course you like Waluigi. That's so you.
I'm so very glad this is all being recorded because now I can just like hit play on my personal device and just hear Black Cyborg say, "Yoshi gets down with anybody. Fucking Yoshi's good."
Yoshi is good. He's good for the soul. Yoshi.
I
I
do
like
want to
the-
say,
Some
like,
weird places, I gotta say.
He's all
Boingo
like...
Boingo did a song called "Good for Your Soul." It's about masturbation.
He says Huckaroo and all those things, and...
Yoshi
Yoshi
talks?
says "Huckaroo" now.
Yeah, in like Mario Golf. Mario Golf, you like press the little taunt buttons, and he's like, Huckaroo! Huckaroo! And then
That sounds pretty
then
Japanese.
some-
Yoshi
Sometimes-
does make some weird...
Sometimes he
That's-
does his little butt stomp where he goes, "Pring, pang," and then other times he's like trying to, struggle in the air to get even higher, and he's like, hey, hey.
I have a serious question for Shadaloo here. Shadaloo, you played Mario World, right?
Yeah. I'm on the other side of the room right now because I had to back away from the microphone. Keep going. Yes,
Were
I
the
did.
colorful Yoshi's not the greatest thing? Were you not super excited when you got the blue Yoshi? The best Yoshi?
The blue Yoshi is the best.
I was excited when I got
totally
the
the
blue Yoshi, yes, but did anyone put the yellow one to good use?
Well, the other one
Was-
sucked, dude.
Was the red one good for anything apart from a line of
The yellow
Clover
one's
Troopers
only
right in front
useful
of
when
you?
you actually get, like, the blinking shell and you have all 3 powers.
Pretty well. It's an accessory. The only Yoshi anyone really gives a shit about is the blue one.
But it's so legit. The blue one is so tight.
Dude, stop living in like 89 or whenever that shit came out. Yoshi's so far beyond that. He had his own game, Yoshi's Story.
Yeah, Woolly World. It's coming soon. It's going to be amazing.
No, long
The game
before
changer.
Woolly
Is
World, there was Yoshi's Story on the N64.
And
There was
Yoshi's
a
Cookie on the
trailer for
NES.
Woolly World
Yoshi's
where the
Cookie
chick is
on
like
the NES.
knitting
You gotta
the whole
respect
time.
Yoshi's Cookie. It's not
So,
Tetris, it's not Bejeweled, it's its own thing.
When
It's
does
its own
Yoshi's
cookie.
Kitchen come out?
Oh, that'd be sick.
Oh, that's
You're
for the
tied up.
Morpheus, right?
Yeah, totally.
I'd play it.
I play Yoshi's
Yoshi.
Cookie on the Morpheus.
What does Yoshi
I
need
like
a
that
kitchen for? He eats everything raw. Just one bowl.
Exactly.
He eats everything raw, if you know what I mean. Look at that fucking tongue. Yoshi pleases everyone, and nobody goes
See,
unpleased.
no.
This is going to some
This
weird places.
I don't want to be a
think
part
I
of
like
this
it anymore.
conversation
This is
anymore.
still why I like Kirby better.
Can we talk
Fuck
about
Kirby! No!
Kirby eats everything better than Yoshi eats everything.
No!
Yeah.
Yoshi has that gentle tongue. Kirby just sucks.
I don't care about Yoshi's genitals.
Kirby's a little messed up, dude. Kirby like puts objects inside of him. That's like some German basement
Kirby's
shit.
mouth is
Why am I
literally a
not playing
black.
Arkham Knight right
shit.
now? What is this?
I
Why?
mean, there's some weird fucking lore about Kirby. Have you guys seen that death battle?
No, I haven't.
No,
I think I
because
did,
it didn't
actually.
feature Yoshi.
Yoshi versus Kirby. Make it happen. Nintendo.
Yoshi wins. I already told you the ending. Spoilers.
Fanboys.
I don't think the podcast has had this much of a breakdown since the first time Django was on the podcast. And we had the reptile conversation. We started going into the...
You want to know what the link is? They're both reptiles.
That's true. They both had tongues, dude. They both have fucking tongues.
What a random thing. They both have tongues.
So your
Long
time's
tongue,
up.
dude.
Yoshi's time is now.
Oh, yes.
Yoshi's time has been since Mario World, man. This is astounding to me that you don't like Yoshi, or that like you thought everybody hates Yoshi. He's not
really
Chris.
salty about it. Like
He's not Chris Rock.
I just don't care.
Oh, I actually don't have any feelings about Yoshi.
I care for
Man.
your random garden variety sniffer or shy guy more than I care about Yoshi.
I agree. Shy Guy is better. That is true.
My friends gave up on ever playing Yoshi in a game long ago because I always get Yoshi. They moved on. That ship has sailed.
They're very unlucky people.
They moved on to their Toads, their Luigis, their Marios, their
Donkey
Boos, their
Kong in
Dry
those games?
Bones, their Dry Bowsers, Donkey Kongs even. We even got a
I played the
Wario.
shit out of Dry Bowser. That's the shit.
Even a Koopa Troopa, believe it or not.
Or Dry Bowser, there's something that I like to.
Why
know
is there a
what is?
Why is there a dry Bowser? Doesn't that mean he's dead?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
No, because we have
Is
Dry
that's
Bones.
corpse from the future. What's the
Well,
story there?
we have-
So there are multiple Bowsers, I guess?
No!
No!
Dry
Logically,
Bones in Super Mario 3, you had Dry Bones, the little Koopa Troopa that
Yes,
was all dried out, that you jump on their head and it's all like, and then it
Yeah.
falls to the ground.
But like,
And then,
I've seen-
after like 5 seconds, it builds itself back up.
A Koopa Troopa isn't that weird because there are so many Koopa Troopas. There's only one Bowser.
You're right.
So seeing him as a fucking skeleton, it's like, wow, this
Cool.
game
Well,
got dark.
Listen,
Got
after
really
like
awesome.
20,
Is this
30
like a
years of getting his
callback to,
ass
like-
kicked, like he's not going to be in very good shape.
It's like a callback to like Mario 1 where there was like a Bowser at the end of every level.
Well, those were
Are there
supposed
clones
to be,
now?
like- in the instruction manual, it said some shit about them being like regular bosses disguised as Bowser.
You would know that.
Ah.
Speaking of,
You know what
He's
else
right,
I know?
Baby
about
Bowser's
Mario
really
1
cool,
From
too.
the instruction manual, every brick you break is a Mushroom Kingdom citizen that was transformed into stone.
Whoa!
Is a mass
That's dark.
murderer.
That is dark.
well, they're already
I think
dead.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Oh god, bro.
We can all agree the best appearance of Bowser was Super Mario RPG. That was
Yes.
his shining
It
point.
was a good
Where
one.
Peach made him her bitch. That was
Oh,
kinda
Paper
wonderful.
Mario, what a great game,
was-
too. Speaking
It was
of
kind of
Mario
like a
RPG.
sad, pathetic version of Vegeta in that game.
Which is great. That's perfection to me. But did he throw Mario as one of his attacks?
Yep.
Was that was beautiful. I mean, it's been a long time, but that's a great fucking game.
I miss Malo and Gino, I really do.
I do too. My God, why are those characters? I know they're owned by SquareSoft or Square, whatever the fuck Square is these days. But
Squeenix.
what the fuck? Squeenix, yeah, they're owned by Squeenix now. But
No.
what are they doing with those properties? Nothing. Just
Just sitting
Oh, we
on
want to talk about Squeenix properties. Let's talk about Legacy of Kain for a fucking minute.
No.
No.
Let's talk more about Yoshi.
Let's
at the
not talk about things they're not making that will make us sad. How about that?
at the end of that Square presentation where they're like, we have a new one more new product introduced. It is an RPG. And I'm like, if I start hearing a ticking clock, I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm. I legitimately thought that Chrono Trigger, like 3 or whatever the hell, might have been up on that stage. That would have been a bit
No,
much. That'll
You know
never
what?
happen.
maybe after 7 comes out, because then
Maybe.
6 and Chrono Trigger will be just about the only properties they have left that are super popular that they haven't milked all the money they can get out of yet.
They're already
Amano
teasing
did
it.
say, yeah, he was like, we've remade everyone but 5 and 6, and I don't know why that is. So get ready for it. It's going to happen, for better or for ill.
I'm excited.
I am too. But the way everyone
6
feels about
is-
FF7 is like, 6 to me is my holy grail. If they fuck up one thing,
Here's what I wonder: like, would they have to get Toriyama back to do a Chrono Trigger? Like, is he?
I wouldn't think so. Would they? I don't, because he doesn't have any licensing relationship with the
How
property.
hard would it be, though? I mean, all you have to do is give his approval, and I mean, any Tom, Dick, or Harry could like do a 3D-esque Dragon Ball character. Because I'm sorry, but they all are Dragon Ball motherfucking looking characters.
Well,
It's
yeah,
the same. It's the
his
same
art style's
face.
pretty distinctive.
I think that they just need his permission, but that'd be about it. They can do this.
Toriyama, I don't think he'd have a problem with it. Like he's doing the recent Dragon Ball films, and I really like Battle of the Gods. I'm really excited for Resurrection of F. I think that I'm
Well,
good
they're
or bad. I'm
doing
hyped.
another series that'll like retcon away GT that Toriyama's actually signed on for.
I'm looking forward to that too. I think they understand what made Dragon Ball good, and I think they're proceeding in a very positive direction. Like I said, I thought Battle of the Gods was excellent. I thought that was a very strong installment, but possibly the only good Dragon Ball Z movie ever. So,
Harsh.
yeah, I don't think.
I like the cooler movies. Cooler movies are okay.
It's
the first
distracting. They fit so not possibly into the timeline that it's
Yeah,
distracting.
well, that's the thing with all of the movies is like there's nowhere they could be in canon because like either Goku's dead at a certain point or Gohan's too young, and he
The
has
only one,
Dragon always showing up who never shows up in the series.
the only one that actually works is Dead Zone, which is why they actually made a bit of a tie-in to it. It's halfway through the anime. Mind you, the
That's
tie-in
true.
doesn't make much sense as far as I recall, but Dead Zone does work.
It's definitely chronologically functional. Tapion is half workable, but it's still hard to rationalize. You could argue it's within the gap, maybe, but I don't know. We'll see, though. I mean, what were we talking? Toriyama, yeah. Toriyama is not that busy. I don't think he's doing a whole lot right now. If they want to bring him on board with Chrono Trigger, I don't see why there would be any reason why he would reject them. I don't think so, at least. I think...
Yeah,
he would jump on
I'm
that
sure
boat
he
pretty
wouldn't.
quickly.
I was just wondering if he's like, I mean, I don't know, because like the thing that's weird to me about like remaking those games, I mean, with 7, they've sort of the art style was already established with Advent Children of what this world looks like realistically. I don't know that Chrono Trigger works if it's not like a big cartoon. Like, would they make it look? I mean,
I
would
didn't even think of
would
that.
it
I
look
thought
like
it
a
would be
Dragon Ball Z
animated.
Bukai game, or
I thought it would just be like animation. I didn't even think about Chrono Trigger going 3D, to be honest with you.
It's a very Toriyama-esque world once you really look at it, and I think that he like I don't know made a small portfolio of original sketches for the game, but I don't think that they would have much of a problem bringing that to life. It's been done.
I'd be fine with like a cel-shaded Chrono Trigger. I think that'd be okay. I would have no issue with that. Well, okay.
This is the worst episode of Warrior Shrine ever.
Get that
Well,
fucking snake out of here.
I guess
More E3 thoughts.
Street Fighter V.
How do you feel about Fat Birdie? This is important.
Well, Birdie's already not my favorite character. This did not sell me on Birdie. This did not
He's
make
so
me a
pretty.
Birdie fan.
I'm conflicted because I mean I love my rock music and my punk culture and my punk music and my rock culture. So Birdie kind of really like hit a chord with me back in Alpha 2 and Alpha and whatever. He's always been one of my favorite guys. The scary thing about this is just how plausible it is from Birdie's career path. I can really see him having wound up the way he does. It makes perfect sense. I don't know if I like it, but it saddens me to accept, yes, this is a realistic possibility for this character.
In a weird
In any
way,
case,
actually,
I'm glad to have
yeah.
him back. I'm glad to have him back.
It does fit his Alpha 3 ending, or is it Alpha 2 or Alpha 3? It fits the path they were kind of setting him on. of the whole Psycho Force not working in his favor. But I'm okay with him being fat. I just don't like him being gross. I don't like him scratching his ass and eating donuts. Like, that's not...
He really did let himself go. It's odd. It's so very odd.
Well,
and this has to be taken place after...
Somebody's got to be the Rufus.
Yeah, because Rufus...
Why couldn't Rufus be the Rufus? I like Rufus.
Really low on the popularity list, I think. A bit above El Fuerte.
Yeah, that's another problem I have with Birdie. There's so many characters I wanted more, to be honest with you. But I know he has fans.
There's a rumor leak list now about certain FF5 characters. You want to hear it?
Yes. Go.
Okay. From what I'm remembering offhand, from Street Fighter 2, they're still gonna show us at some point Ken, Dalsim, and Zangief, I think. From 4, Jury's coming back, and I think that's it. And
wow, that's disappointing.
I don't know. Take grain of salt.
Oh, of course, yes. No, I realize this could be...
Neograph rumors from Alpha. You ready for it?
Say Rose.
You ready for it?
Rose.
And the answer is...
Rose!
Karen Kenzuki.
Okay,
and
good.
Rainbow Mika.
All right, I'm happy with those answers. I mean, I can't have my girl in every game, but people have been... Karen is not a vocal minority. There are a lot of people who want her back for a very long time. Mika...
I will take a game where Fei Long is not present where Karen is. I don't think we need 2 Rekka characters in one game.
And I think we're all worn out on Fei Long after all the top-tier bullshit in SF4, so...
We kind of are, yes.
And another thing is, like, Mika doesn't have the biggest fan base, but they've been dick-teasing her for years now and have nothing to show for it. Even for the fucking, what's her name? The Cammy clone. DeCapri. Even at her reveal, they're like, Mika, nope. And I'm like, oh, God. By the way, that reveal was hilarious. I'm, like, there weren't even crickets. The crickets were disappointed. Like, nothing, just silence. But that's a good choice. If Mika makes it back, that's solid, because they've been teasing her for a long time with nothing to show for it. And Karen should have never been gone, but yeah.
Like a poster or in the comics, like all kinds of promotional material. Rainbow Mika's always like right front and center, and she's not actually in most of the games. It's so weird.
Well, I mean, granted, she is fan service on a very big level, but
yeah,
and maybe that is the main reason why people want her back, but the point is people want her back. There's a demand for her, and they're not meeting that demand, but Oro is one of the most strongly rumored characters right now.
That's right.
Sweet.
I forgot.
Yeah. Who's in from 3?
There was a Street Fighter 3 section. From that rumor list is Alex and Urien.
Good. Also very, very good choices.
Urien's cool. I want to see Sean.
A lot of people want to see Sean. I'm not Sean's kind of on the Birdie territory, in my opinion. But I guess
the thing,
they also said
wasn't Sean supposed to be a student of Ken, and isn't this supposed to be like later in the a sequel? Well,
we
don't know the timeline yet.
Supposed to be older?
Was. They have to be older. Bison has gray hair now. Brody's all gotten fat. And he's in his 40s, and this has to be after 3 at some point.
It bugs me when a game introduces a student character and then they're not in the fucking sequels, like Kai after MK4.
I do want Sean in this. I would love Sean. They also said IRC 4 more undecided characters with quote possibly more to come. Cough. Super Resident 5.
Well, going back to Sean, there's a lot of Third Strike characters I like better. Now, okay, Urien has to be on that list. He's a huge competitive
Third Strike characters I like better. I'm super bummed that I didn't hear Q on that list.
For the lore's sake, Alex is the Fujin of Street Fighter V. Alex has to be in there. He has to. That's just the end of it. Again, too many fans, too much demand. He belongs in that roster. The Third Strike character who also belongs in that roster, who I'm disappointed is not on that list, true or false, is Q. Q's kind of that Mika territory.
Yes, I want Q back more than anything else.
So, granted, this list could be bullshit, and you know what? There's at least a 75%, if not higher, chance that it is, but Q, Alex for sure, but Q, come on. I get Street Fighter 4 had too many grapplers, and I wanted a con back, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. But Q's gotta be in there. Do what you did to Nash / Charlie. Make him a new character. Don't make him a Guile clone. Do that with Q. Don't make him a traditional grappler or a grappler. Take the animations, give them new utility. Fucking... But yeah, for the most part, those are all really respectable decisions. Karen, by far, is on top. Karen, even more so than Q, ought to be back. Rose, I like the Street Fighter V engine. I have a lot to say about it, but I'll spare you guys. And I really wanted to see Rose in this. She was my main in Street Fighter 4. She's not even my favorite character. My favorite character is Yang. But just for gameplay-wise, Rose just made the most sense. And when I started playing Yang, it was too late in the series. I was going into MK9. So... I really want to see, I want to see Rose with a V-trigger. I want to see Rose with fucking insane rushdown. That's what I want to see, with crazy throw setups now that, crouch teching's not a thing, thank God. So that's my thing on Street Fighter V. I am excited for it. I think they're making a lot of great design choices. And Chun-Li looks amazing. She's always been one of my favorite characters. I just don't use her because... I don't like charge characters, and I just never got the execution down for the tapping inputs, so... Is there anyone else you wanted to see? I know you were a big Birdie fan. I know you were excited, Shadaloo. Is there another character you're really hoping for?
An insane part of me wants 12 back. I don't know why this is. He was not that...
You're not alone in that. A lot of people are asking for 12.
Jesus. Vega's my main. I always want Vega back, but I don't want SF4 Vega back. I feel like I would have been playing Street Fighter 4 for much, much longer than I actually ever wound up doing if Vega had his old speed back, and he just didn't. And I felt always when I was with Vega that I was playing him covered in molasses or some shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a weird game if there's no Sagat. But again, I don't want half the SF2 roster back. You can't rely on your greatest hits over and over again, especially not this time.
Yeah,
one of the main criticisms of 4 was it was just 2 turbo plus extras rehashed. This time they do need to take chances with the roster.
Like I can see that complaint, but I feel like 4 kind of had to be that because they were trying to revitalize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a big nostalgia thing. It was sort of like how MK9 is trilogy.
Pretty much. And let's see how they go.
I know what you mean about Vega, because the engine for Street Fighter 4 was just very slow and sluggish in general, which worked great for footsie characters. It didn't work so great for, range mix-up characters, unfortunately. And we'll see. I mean, you're right. There is going to be a Super Street Fighter 5, but I think it's going to be like a $15 DLC pack. It's not going to be a disc. So yeah. I actually like that. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah?
The character I really want back, one of the only guys from the Alpha series I completely missed out in it, Sodom. I need to practice sodomy in Street Fighter V. I miss that guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, if you're a Birdie fan, it kind of makes sense. You're also a Sodom fan. Again, I'm not a big fan of either of those characters, but they have fans, and I get it. I want people to be happy. I was more hyped watching the reactions to the FF7 remake on YouTube than I was for the actual trailer. So I'm glad people are getting their characters back. We haven't seen it in a long time. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
hopefully Karen won't be fat.
I'm hoping that there's a lot of that in this game, just because it's sort of so it looks less like the SF4 roster, because graphically this game looks an awful lot like 4, and I feel like it needs to do as much as it can to set itself apart as possible.
That's fair. And
It does have that feel, but recent videos, some of the art changes that, you can tell this is still very much a work in progress being built up, and some of the things that they're doing are, have you seen the round where, Birdie uses his super and finishes the round with it? They stay embedded in the ground during the wind pose, ass up, feet up in the air. I think that this is actually really quickly becoming... And yeah, coming up that sentence doesn't sound quite right, but this is it looks like it might actually be up there with Street Fighter 3 in terms of visual quality when it's all said and done. Although it does look the same at the start. We'll see.
Visual quality is so important for this game because I don't want Karen back if she's going to be scratching her ass and eating donuts. I want Karen to be like Karen. Karen needs to look like Karen, whatever. And that's the thing, you gotta capture this as the character.
I keep wondering how many years can Sakura keep dressing like a schoolgirl? Shouldn't she be 20 by now?
She is 20. She's out of high school. I think I'm pretty sure it's a fact. And at this point, if she's going to be in this game, there is no excuse for her like not to be like wearing some normal clothing. She actually showed up in a manga at some point later on, like during Street Fighter 3. She's a gym teacher at high school, supposedly during this time. So yeah, bring on high school teacher Sakura.
That is very Azumagadaru of her. I respect that. But I mean, I don't think Sakura is coming back because I think she's been overexposed, and I think Capcom knows it.
Too many forward and medium kicks. Wah, wah.
Damn, yeah. That character. I don't want to say the most slept on, but early in the game, I don't think anyone was taking Sakura very seriously. And people were saying, oh, she wasn't that good in vanilla. I personally thought she was great in vanilla. I mean, granted, I'm not the highest level Street Fighter player, especially not now, but God, that character was ridiculous. At least now, she's fucking stupid good. But I mean,
there's an old saying about vanilla SF4 down in the bayou. That's a tiger! Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut! It does not matter.
Oh, Vanilla Sagat. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's not fun. Not fun.
Maybe Sagat should take a day off, because him and Vega, fucking almost 95% of the time, it doesn't matter what fucking game it is, they wind up being top. They just do. Same shit in CVS 2. There was no getting around, like, tier 4, like 4 strength Sagat's Tiger goddamn uppercuts, which ate 75% of your bar. Dinky donkey that shit was.
Day one, all the World Warrior bosses are always very strong. Balrog was very strong. Vega would have been strong if they not patched him right before the game came out. And Sagat, of course, was the king of Vanilla 4. I think we'll see something very similar in this game. Birdie's already considered the best character in the current build, whatever that's going to turn into later. But the thing is, like, I guess just to wrap up my thoughts on Street Fighter V, visual essence, character essence, they got to get that right. Urien needs to look like Magic Mike. Armika needs to look like, Armika. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her more conservative, but she has to have that lightheartedness to her that made her so kind of fun in the alpha game. But I think she could use like a trench coat or something, or maybe like a bodysuit. Give her a onesie. I think a onesie would be good for Armika.
One more thing.
Yes.
It's probably not going to happen, but I really want it to.
She's a professional wrestler, so I don't know about a trench coat.
I just, in these days, this day and age, the thing that's just fading away is the old fighting game tradition of just having those last couple of people in arcade mode be bosses. Steady, slow rung of like weakest to strongest, Balrog to M. Bison. And it doesn't even matter if them being selectable or not. I just wish that would be a thing again, Just have like 4 dudes, 3 minimum dudes at the end of the arcade ladder, representing some sort of like powerful threat that you're going up against. Give me that back.
That's a modern problem with fighting games. Characters have no higher status anymore. Shinnok is a boss, but he's also, a mid-tier character on the select screen.
Well,
you have Seth, who was...
That's why they came up with fucking corrupted Shinnok, though.
Was he... I mean, I wasn't really impressed with... Yeah?
4 could have done it. 4, you could have at least had, like, Jury as, like, your mid-boss. 2 characters. Weak, but still something. Just missed opportunities, man.
I agree, and personally, I was disappointed with Corrupted Shinnok, honestly. I did not think there was a lot of grandeur to that character.
He doesn't have enough moves. I mean, all he does is spam the chest laser and then sometimes shove your face into his stomach.
I just think there's something dull. There's something very dull about Corrupted Shinnok, in my opinion, but I wasn't feeling it. I thought, like...
NetherRealm's gone to the stone with yellow veins too many times.
I was about to say, yeah.
That pretty much wraps up my thoughts on E3 in general. If I had to give it top 3 games, 3 being Street Fighter V, 2 being Kitchen, 1 being Doom. I'm really excited for Doom.
My top 3? Well, I'm old. I hate everything. Next. No, seriously. really looking forward to that FF7 remake. Looking forward to all the salt when it's going to be all different from what we remember. Looking forward to experiencing it all again in a new way.
It's going to be that different. I think it'll be like Resident Evil remake where they added those Wesker scenes for continuity.
That's what I'm hoping for, but that's a huge discussion for another day. And I know that they're not going to fuck with a lot of that we love, but there are some things I don't know.
It looks kind of different. I will say that, and I think maybe that's just because we're seeing it in sunlight.
Maybe.
But there's also sort of an interesting thing I noticed where Cloud is wearing the compilation version of the Buster Sword, but the hilt has been changed to look more like 7. It doesn't have that gold wings ornamentation on it.
Trying to
So
take
that's
what works the very
weird.
best and put it together. We'll see.
My top 3, I don't really have 3, but probably first Fallout and I don't fucking know the other 2, sure. Like there wasn't 3 that I got really excited about. It was pretty much for E3 for me, it was just about Fallout.
I guess for me, my list is probably 3 Uncharted for making me want to get into that series because that looked very fun. That looked like a lot of fun. 2 Transformers, FF7, and Some Distant World. That's my list.
Django?
My top 3 would be 1 game and 2 announcements. I'm really happy that Killer Instinct is going to be on PC with crossplay.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have to buy an Xbone anymore.
That's going to be a lot of fun, and more people playing the game. Yay! And we can all play. And we can all play together. PC people can fight Xbox people.
Yeah, KI definitely deserves the boost. I don't know if it needs it. I guess I hear that it's doing decently, but...
And I think that also looks favorably on there being a Season 3 for that game, too.
Yeah, that's... the Season 2 story mode just came out, and I'm really enjoying that.
Didn't they say they have plans for Kimbo and Tusk? I'm sure of it.
Well, there are, all throughout 2 story mode is just constant Gargos teasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming.
What were the other 2? Oh, really happy about 360 backwards compatibility. There's a lot of fucking games I want to keep playing.
Yeah. It would be nice to not have to keep plugging the old console back in, because I don't have that much room on my shelf.
And there's a lot of the Xbox arcade titles. I want to still be able to play that shit. Play Third Strike online with people. Still, I don't want that to die just because the Xbox 360 isn't a thing anymore. And yeah, the game Recore. Recore was my top.
Razor.
I guess Shenmue for 3. 2 would be Star Fox, and 1 would be FF7.
All right. Well, that'll cover the E3 edition of this podcast. And
oh yes, and a special shout out to my girl Lydia Winters. A, for having the most goth name I've ever seen. Holy shit.
That is a spectacularly goth name.
And B, for having the greatest sudden transition to a complete and total death stare out of anyone I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys caught that moment. They were, talking about, Minecraft and the holograms, and she was like, and then she looked at the camera with a gaze that seemed to speak volumes, as in, I will flay you, salt your muscles, and consume them raw. It was quite disturbing, and I found myself somewhat aroused.
All right, then. On that note, it's been good, and you guys have a good week. Adios.
You're a weird cat.
Take it easy.
Yoshi!